Hey everyone, I'm Ken from TableTopical, and today I'm here reviewing the Adeptus Titanicus supplement, Shadow and Iron. Just got it a couple days ago. I'm getting into the game, so I figured it'd be really cool to crack it open, go over some of the stuff that's in it. So to start, there's some really good fluff about the different battles that are going on in this area. Basically, it's the 500 Worlds, Ultramar, if you know anything about that, the Ultramarines. But yeah, so really, really good fluff. I've been reading through. You can see my little bookmark here. That's as far as I've gotten. But it's stories about big stompy robots fighting, destroying each other, destroying worlds. So very, very cool stuff. And it's all about the different legios that they have actually in this book. So you can get excited about the legios that you're going to be playing. If you want to play one of the ones that's in the book. Map of the 500 Worlds, Ultramar. A little bit more history on Ultramar, or I guess it's about different places in Ultramar. But then this is the real crunchy stuff. So this gets into the actual legions. There's some really, really cool ones here. So I'm just going to knock through them really, really quick. The first one, Legio Presagius, the True Messengers. They have 3 Legio traits, which is really interesting. The first one is focused on being more accurate at long range. Second one is basically having like a backup Princeps. And the third one is basically just to repair critical damage after you take damage from them. So they're pretty flexible, I think. Very cool color scheme, the blue and the white stripes, which I really like. The next guys are Legio Oberon, the Death Bolts 2. So they're the ones that have been hanging out with the Ultramarines for a really long time. So they're efficient planners, which means that if you basically do the same command or every time basically if you have an order, every time you do the same order to a separate Titan, the next Titan gets a +1. Up to a maximum of +3. So that's pretty cool. So if all your guys are marching forward and you're giving them the same order, you get a little bit of bonus there. Also, if they're next to other Titans in the same Legio, then they get a bonus to armor. Also, very cool color scheme, sort of the tiger stripe color scheme. So overall, really, really cool Legio. The Legio Lysanda, Sentinels of the Edge. So these guys, there's a lot of like patience and stuff in their fluff, I guess. But yeah, so you can basically give up first turn, so let your opponent pick what turn they want, as well as letting them deploy all their models after you deploy all your models. So you're giving up a lot of stuff there, but in return you get a bonus to your hit rolls and your command checks made during the first round. So there's a little bit of cool stuff there. Not sure if it's worth the trade-off, but it's cool nonetheless. But really, really cool color scheme if you have a lot of patience, which I definitely do not. But the black and white checks, awesome color scheme. Legio Infernus, Fire Masters, as you might expect, very focused on fire. So their Legio trait lets them place the flame template 2 inches away, and you can sort of like do some cool stuff with that. Get a little bit of flexibility there. Also, they can upgrade their flame weapons to have phosphex, which is pretty cool if you know anything about the fluff of 30k. Again, very cool scheme. Probably a pain in the butt to actually do though. Mordaxis, these guys are my favorite in the book just because I love the purple and black scheme. I think I'm going to paint my Titans in this color scheme here. So Legio Mordaxis, the Death Dealers, they basically have this little AoE around them as they're walking around. They have like a technotoxin, which hurts other Titans when they're in close range. So good at sort of thinning out some smaller Titans or Knights. And they're also like a little bit slower because their Princeps are like so corrupted and sort of dulled mind is one of their Princep traits. So they aren't as good as like pushing their reactors, or I don't think they can push their reactors they cannot declare power to locomotors or power to stabilizers, so they can't get those extra moves or the extra turns. So interesting stuff. Again, I love the purple and black scheme. Very cool. Legio Audax, I think a lot of people very excited about this. The Ember Wolves. So they are only Warhound Titans. So very, very cool. They can do some stuff with squadrons, some weird stuff with squadrons. Also, they get a little bit of extra cover on the first turn because they're like sort of stalking around. Also, their Ursus Claws, which are in this book, very cool, sort of like more close range weapons. They're a little bit stronger. Also, very cool scheme. It's like a black and red marble effect. So pretty cool. And there you can see the Ursus Claw there. So very cool. Then we get into the Maniples. You have the Candace Light Maniple. So it's odd X only, and it allows the Warhounds to actually scout up the field. So pretty cool. It's 3 Warhounds mandatory, and then up to 2 additional Warhounds. I wanted to fill it out a little bit more. Then we have the Arcus Battle Line Maniple. It's 1 Warbringer Nemesis Titan, 2 Warhound Titans, and then optional 2 Warhound Titans. And essentially with that one, you can basically use the Warhounds to sort of go up the field and spot for the Nemesis shots. So you can sort of sit them back there and pop shots over buildings and stuff because the Warhounds are like relaying the targeting back to the Nemesis Titan. So very cool. Then we have the Raptura Battle Line Maniple. So you have 2 Warbringer Nemesis Titans, 1 Reaver Titan, and then an option for 2 additional Reaver Titans. And essentially, you have your 2 Warbringers sitting in the back, and then your Reaver gets some bonuses to move up the field a lot faster. So you get covering fire by the Nemesis Titans, and then you can run up your Reavers into melee. Very cool. And then finally, we have the Mandatum Battle Line Maniple, which is 1 Warlord Titan with 2 Warhounds, and then additional 2 Warhounds that are optional. And essentially, the Warhounds get some bonuses on command checks, as well as +1 to hit when they're within 12 inches of Warlord Titan. So you have the Hounds, and then you have your Warlord who sort of oversees them. So cool stuff. Then we get into the Ordo Sinister, the Warlord Sinister Psi Titan. So Psi Titan, very cool model if you haven't seen it on Forge World. It's a big Warlord, really cool face mask, some weird stuff on the back, cool weird weapon. But they get some psychic abilities as well as that cool weird weapon. So good stuff. There's some Knight houses in here. I don't know too much about them, but if you're a Knight player, always cool to have new options. So lots of good stuff there. Quite a few of them in here. I'm really excited for this because I'm a big narrative player. So a bunch of narrative missions if you wanted to sort of play some of the battles from the book. So overall, cool stuff. And this is the thing that I think I'm most pumped for, the campaign system. There's already a campaign system, but this fleshes it out some more. So I'm super pumped to get my guys painted and play some cool narrative campaigns. So lots of rules for the campaign here. And then after the campaign rules, back here, there's the new weapons. So the Ursus Claw and the Shock Lance. They're weapons for the Warhounds. With the Ursus Claw, you can basically try to turn other models 90 degrees, left or right. And then with the Shock Lance, you can actually make a check to shut down or force the opponent to shut down their reactor, and it sort of wastes a turn for them. So both very cool. There's also the rules for the Sinistramus Tenebrae, which is the weapon of the Psi Titan. So overall, I really like this book. There's also some stratagems in the back. But for me, I'm really excited about Mordaxis, the Deathbringers. I really love their scheme. Not sure if the rules are super powerful, but I never cared about that. The additional rules for the narrative camp or the campaigns. I'm a real big campaign player. I don't really like. One-off games are fine, but I would rather have like a storyline and stuff like that. So overall, very cool. Highly recommended. Good book.